welcome to the Mike Koenigs Show. My name is Mike Koenigs. This is a show that's filled with money-making ideas for entrepreneurs, and this is episode 12, sponsored by our friends at Bulletproof Coffee. Thank you, Bulletproof Coffee. All right, so in this episode, I have a special guest, a good friend of mine who happens to be a trapeze artist and a business consultant. Her name is Allison Maslan. She's founder of the Allison Maslan International Team Group Company. It's actually just Allison Maslan International, but she's going to be sharing the 3 growth secrets of successful businesses. And by the way, you can learn more about Allison by visiting a link that we have in here. It's mrbz.com/am. All right, now we also have the You Everywhere Now tip of the week, which is something I'm really excited to share with you today. It is how I earn over $44 million online and what I think the elements are that have contributed to that success. We also have our audience hot seats, something else that I think is really valuable. You're really gonna get a lot out of that and a lot more. Now, I want to open this show up today with something that all of us struggle with as entrepreneurs. And that is the most difficult thing that we have as entrepreneurs is not coming up with a list of good ideas. In fact, if you're like me, you usually wake up with about 10 good ideas and your head's racing every single night. And what in fact ends up happening is you come in with a whole bunch of ideas. Maybe you've got a team and you present, hey, here are these great ideas. Let's make these, let's do them. And of course, the problem is your team's like, but what about the 100 or 1,000 other things that we already talked about doing, or the things that aren't scheduled? What's going to give here? And the bottom line is, it's never about the ideas, it's about knowing which ones to actually do that make money and produce results. In other words, it just comes down to sales, okay, for you and for your clients as well. So the most common challenges that we have as entrepreneurs are scaling our business. It's finding, hiring, and retaining good employees or contractors. It's maintaining cash flow, the holy grail of business, okay? It's building marketing systems that consistently bring in leads, that convert into sales, and also just building a business that we can work on versus in, right? Okay, now I know what it's like to live in a constant state of overwhelm, confusion, and self-doubt. Anyone who's ever succeeded in any way, shape, or form has gone through that. And for me, over the past 30 years, I've created over 200 products. I've built and sold a total of 7 businesses. 2 of those businesses were sold to publicly traded companies, so that means going through double due diligence, all sorts of stuff. But I've also started and restarted and reinvented myself several times over, and I've also gone through near bankruptcy, a divorce that was driven by my, I would say, compulsive nature to focus on business instead of marriage, and also going through cancer as well, which just about turned everything upside down, including just flat out dying. But for me, I don't think there's such a thing as any form of a holy grail of any sort. But there are a couple of things that I know to be true. The first one of which is success by itself requires discipline, and it is driven by fundamental, repeatable actions. And that's the hardest thing for any of us to get past from a psychological perspective. And something I've been sharing, talking about, and reminding myself constantly is turtles always win, and rabbits get spooked. They run around like crazy. They waste a lot of energy. Even if they're running quickly, they very rarely ever run in a straight line. But business success is about mindset. You study all the top people, all the big billionaires, that's what they have in common. It's about their mindset. And right now, for example, I am reading a couple of books about that very thing. So one of them is a book called The Perfect Day Formula by Craig Ballantyne. He also has a kit. Another one is called The Freedom Journal by John Lee Dumas. Both of them are really all about habit creation and forming habits, and also installing mechanisms in place that stop you from doing stupid stuff that wastes time and wastes energy. So the core fundamentals that I've been studying and repeating, and look, it's not like I'm new to this game. I've been practicing some form of personal growth and personal development now for well over 30 years. But for whatever reason, I'm really inspired right now to go back to the basics. And the fundamentals that I've been focusing on is, number one, it's exercise. Because if your body just isn't operating at an optimum pace, nothing else is going to work. And for me, what I try to do is I do cold plunges on a regular basis. That means just starting and ending with a cold shower or jumping into the ocean. I happen to live next to the ocean. The other one is diet. I've been adhering to a pretty strict paleo-style diet. It's something that JJ Virgin talks about. So it's no sugar, dairy, wheat, soy, corn. And I also have been avoiding peanuts and limiting my consumption of eggs. The next one is meditation. My favorite app right now for meditation is something that you can get very, very easily. It starts out with something called 10 and 10, but the app is available for free in a subscription basis. And the name of the app is Headspace. You can download the sample version for free, and beyond that, you can subscribe to it. Really, really great app, but in 10 minutes, you can completely rearrange your brain. But the other thing, and this is the part that I haven't been practicing until very, very recently, or I have to some degree, is just planning and preparing a script the night before and sticking to it, no matter how you feel or what kind of excuses your brain creates for you. Now there's something else. It's something that conceptually I'm very, very familiar with, something that drives me nuts in my own business. It probably will drive you nuts as well. But I just bumped into the word, and I'm going to explain to you what it is, where it originated from, and what it means. Now, the English version is mise, but the proper pronunciation, which I'm going to butcher it, it's French, is mise à plat, I think. It's spelled M-I-S-E-E-N-P-L-A-C-E. But the dictionary definition is it's a French culinary phrase which means putting in place, or as us Americans would say, everything has its place. So this concept is used in any professional kitchen. So it's about arranging and reorganizing ingredients, where you put your cuts of meat, your relishes, your sauces, your pre-cooked stuff, your spices, your chopped things, whatever it is. But also, if you work in a studio like ours, you gotta have everything in its place if you're gonna expect to get any kind of consistent results. So the bottom line is you gotta have all your tools in one place and have them in a consistent place, or you're gonna be wasting a ton of time just inefficiently moving stuff around. So think of your life as an assembly line. And that, although it may not sound like a giant breakthrough or revelation to you, it's something that I've been putting into practice to just get over my own natural tendencies of pure, unadulterated chaos. So with that, what I want to do is make sure you get ready for this episode, and if you have any questions, comments, or you would like your question answered in a hot seat, send an email to MikeKoenigsShow@gmail.com. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to get the show rolling with a lesson. It's called What I Learned from Launching and Generating $44 Million in Online Sales.